and welcome to Tunnel Hill, Georgia, as we're at the ELITE Lineman Training Institute. I'm Colton Witt, and we're getting ready to kick off the ELITE Lineman Rodeo Hurtman competition here for the 5th class of the ELITE Lineman Training Institute. Now, this class, basically, they had their rodeo and they had all the events, but this particular video that we're doing for you today is just the Hurtman competition. We want to show just the goes at the Hurtman, and so basically we're going to show all our guys as they participate in the Hurtman. They go up, they rescue the dummy, get him down in the fastest time they can with the least amount of mistakes, and then we're going to have a leaderboard and determine our winner. Toby Mabry, who has a lot of experience, he's done lineman rodeos, he's done state lineman rodeos, international lineman rodeos. He also has trained some state champions for the lineman rodeo in Georgia. He is going to join me. He is an instructor here at ELITE, and he's going to join me, and we're going to bring you the action. So with all that being said, we're going to start with Alan Caro, and we're going to get started. All right, first up it's Alan Caro, Dalton, Georgia, 23 years old. Toby, tell us a little bit about Alan before he gets going.
Well, Alan, you know, he's got a lot of strength. He was a wrestler in high school, and a lot of good physical strength, a lot of determination there with this guy.
All right, and Alan gets started now, gets his buck squeeze on the pole, and begins to climb.
Oh, there's a little hiccup, but hey, he didn't lose any ground. Hey,
a little bit, okay.
Got a little jitters here going up the pole, but he's maintained his momentum.
And Alan's almost there to Terry. Terry, as we've mentioned before in these videos, is around 200 pounds. And so that's really one of the difficult things, is getting through that dummy.
Yeah, they really have to fight with those guys, Colton. You know, there's a few different methods they can use, but basically I just tell them they got to step up in their belt, grit their teeth, and man up on it.
Mm-hmm. Does it help to kind of get step up and almost where you use your legs?
Absolutely. You're using your legs and using your weight to kind of push your way through there. A lot of guys have a tendency to want to take their hand and try and push Terry off the pole, and it doesn't work. You don't have enough hands to use that method.
All right, and he gets his handline block down, and he's going to have to hurry and get him tied up here. He's just at 1:11 as we speak right now, and let's see if he can get in a good position. You like kind of where he's at?
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. He's maybe a little higher than he would have to be to tie him, but you know, he's working with it. He's certainly comfortable in his belt, stepping around there.
And looks like, I think he's got his first knot. All right.
Yep, he's cinched down one there.
He's got
Needs
one.
2 more. We got to have 3 half hitches here. They got to be 3 true half hitches.
2.
One of the tricks to that is really get that first one tight. You really got to get it down on his chest and let the others follow up, and that'll help you have a good tight knot when he gets to the ground.
All right, he got his cut. He's on his way down. He's got to get slack, and
there.
Minute 56. Minute 56.
Hey,
solid time for Alan.
That's not bad. Not bad at all.
All right, well, now it's Tucker Sharon, and he's just going to go ahead and get started here, and yanks his headline and is getting on the pole.
Ooh, his hand line's over there on the, looks like it's hung up on an arm over there, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That may cause a little trouble here
in
the future.
Tell us a little about Tucker.
Man, Tucker's a great guy. He really showed a lot of leadership throughout, you know, the class with these guys. His military background, I think, really taught him a lot of skills in that area, and he just really stepped up, and was very encouraging to these guys.
And you look at Tucker's, he got up there pretty quick. He seems really determined. You know, he's rocking the pole trying to get through.
Yeah, and like we said, I mean, some of these guys really have a hard time getting it through there. And you know, Tucker's one that if he really stretched out, he could reach that hand line to get it down from below and not have to work it through there. But it really is a stretch.
All right, he gets his hand line. He's got to drop the block and begin to tie up Terry. He does look a little high.
Yeah, he's in a pretty high position right there. He's probably going to have to step back down just a little bit. Well,
he's reaching down. He's reaching pretty far.
Yeah, he's touching his toes practically, isn't he? Hey,
I don't have that kind of flexibility.
He's comfortable.
All right. He gets it around. He's got to start tying those knots. I think he has one, getting the second one, and now the third one.
Tucker's great with his knots.
Yeah, he's tying those knots really fast.
Yep. So now he's got to get his wrap around the pole. That's the other friction point right there. Got to get it on the end of the arm.
And he's got it. Got to cut. Makes his cut. He's on his way down.
Terry.
Oh,
Terry. Oh, Terry. That's
that might have got his knees.
I tell you what, if Terry was passed out, he's probably not any longer.
Yeah. And that's a good time for Tucker. Minute 46, and he's got no point deduction, so a solid time for him. All right, well now it's Eli Johnson, Rainsville, Alabama. His nickname Crutch and all that. And Toby, tell us a little about Eli as he gets started now.
Man, Eli is such a great young man. I tell you what, he was inspirational to me to see the way that he came back. You know, obviously he's got the nickname Crutch. He had a little hiccup, I think in week 4 or 5 maybe,
gapped
where
his
he
foot.
gapped the top of his foot there. And I tell you what, man, he didn't miss a beat. He was out, I think, for 3 weeks and not able to climb, but he did everything in his power to still, you know, rise up above that, learn all of his other skills. And when he was able to put a boot back on, I mean, he just picked right up where he had left off.
He's got a lot of natural ability, and some determination. Now he's getting a little hung up here, and that's the big stumbling block for most of these guys here, is getting hung up on Terry. But I think he may not go through him. He may just step up.
Right, and like I was saying earlier with Tucker, some of these guys are tall enough. They can really stretch. You know, if they'll push themselves and get in the right position, they can make it happen from not having to push through there.
All right, he got his block down. Now he's got to reach down and get that around him. He's in a pretty high position.
Yeah, right there, Colton. As he steps around, I'd really like to see him drop that left leg, get himself in a better position, more chest to chest with the mannequin, and make it a lot better time position.
I think he might be under the arm now, and I think he is. It's kind of hard to see from the angle he's at, and I believe he's starting to tie his knots.
Yeah, another thing too is they really pull that rope around and under the arms. There's a lot of friction as they're trying to get it, and some guys really struggle, you know, or sometimes it can even hang up on the mannequin's belt.
All right, he's trying to reach out and get the friction point. Oh, now he's got it. He's got a cut. He cuts him. He's coming down. He's at a minute 51 now. Kind of gets tangled a little bit and hits the ground. Got to get slack. Minute 59.
Hey, not bad. Stay under 2.
Yep. All right, next up is the Mississippi man, Sam Watts, as he's already in progress here. Tell us about Sam, Toby.
Well, Oxford, I tell you what, he was a great young man. I really enjoyed getting to know him. He's got a little bit of a background. He's done some underground work, a little bit of fiber work, and he wants to do some overhead line work, and that's what brought him here. And you know, he stayed in the house over there with the guys, and it was I think they had a great time.
Yeah.
They're 11 weeks together.
Yeah, it's 3 basically 18, 19, 20-year-olds with a 36-year-old.
Yeah.
So it was a interesting arrangement, and he's at the top fighting through.
So you see Ox, he's trying to work that buck squeeze like a saw, trying to saw his way through there.
He's rocking a little bit, trying to create a gap.
Yep.
And I think he's still stuck.
Yeah, I think he's finding a little difficulty there. And
I guess he's just going to reach up.
That rock method, it works okay on a rodeo pole like this, but when you've actually got wire tied in, you're not going to shake that pole a whole lot, that direction. So really need to work more on using, like we talked about, the lower half and trying to push yourself up through there.
All right, and he gets around. And looks like he is still, most of these guys are pretty high, but they're in good position as far as being around the pole.
I like the way he got around the side of the pole, though.
Yeah.
You know, he's not trying to reach through the pole. He's over there where he can get to Terry a whole lot easier.
All right. He's, I think he's getting his knots going now. He might have, I think he got 2, and I think he's on his 3rd one.
Looking around, he's not comfortable. He wanted to get comfortable before he reached up to do that.
And he's at about 2 minutes now, and he's got to cut him.
He might want to hold that rope. There he goes.
Yeah.
All
All
right.
right, he's on his way down. Oh, got a little hung up, and here he comes.
Here he goes.
Got to get slack.
And I really like the way that Sam kept him from swinging into the pole. You know, I saw what he did there. He held him a couple extra seconds, but hey, good job.
All right, 2:14 for Sam, and we'll move on to our next participant. All right, well now we have Matt Madrone, Lightning, local guy, Dalton, Georgia. One of our other older guys. He's 34. Talk about Matt a little bit, Toby.
Well, we won't call him old. We'll just say he's the senior guy.
For these guys, he's a little, yeah.
He's the senior guy.
Yeah.
Man, Matt, you know, where Lightning came from, I'm not sure, because he is just smooth.
Yeah.
You know, he never seems like he's in a hurry, but you turn around and Matt's already done with the task.
Yeah.
He really impressed me when we were building the three-phase line. He had a few hiccups on the pole that he was on, and not all his fault, just kind of some unfortunate situations. And Matt stayed on the pole one afternoon for about 2 to 2.5 hours, and there was not 1 ounce of quit in this guy. He is just he's a very strong intellectual guy.
And he's strong physically. You see, he just got right through Terry and with no trouble.
Absolutely. He just flowed right up there. That's what I said. He doesn't blow you away like with this lightning speed, but you turn around and he's done. It's just smooth as silk.
And it's a minute, and he's already getting under the arm there. And all he's got to do is tie his 3 half hitches.
That's it.
And then get the friction point and cut him down.
If you notice right there, Matt used 2 hands working the rope around. He was feeding slack with his right hand while he was taking it up with his left. That's the best method you can use.
And I think he might have his that was his third.
It.
And he's getting the friction point.
There he goes.
He's got it, got a cut. Here he comes. Minute 23, minute 24,
Great
getting slack.
job.
Minute 25. That's a very solid time there for Matt Madrone. And he is in first place on our leaderboard, and we'll see where he finishes in the rest of the competition.
Great job.
All right, now for the other older guy in the class.
The senior of
yes.
all our senior guys here.
Yes, Jim Enochs, Bellamy, Cookeville, Tennessee. One of the best students we had. Really great guy, for sure.
Just had a great time getting to know Jim. You're not going to find this guy when he's not just having fun. No matter what he's doing, whether it's helping someone else or learning a new skill or, you know, whitewater kayaking or hunting in the hills of Utah. I mean, this guy's going to have a blast. I mean, he was an inspiration to me.
Yes, he's all over the place. Does a ton of different things. He's got, I mean, his skills are just, it's amazing for his age. I mean, he looked like he could do like American Ninja Warrior or something.
Yeah, he loves a challenge, man. I tell you, he does. And you just can't keep this guy down. He's really fighting, getting through there now.
Yeah, got through 42 seconds, not bad. And now he's got to get his block down and begin to wrap around Terry, tie those knots.
There you go.
All right, gets his hand line over, and
he stepped up a minute and he realized, wait a minute, I got to reach down. So he's relocated now. He's gotten around in the quarter on the pole.
Reaching really far.
Pretty good position right there.
And he's getting under that arm. As heavy as the dummy is the arm kind of heavy too?
It is. It's just complete dead weight, you know, that you're trying to move out of your way. And his coveralls, like I said earlier, a lot of friction when you're trying to pull under both arms there.
And he's already got his knots and he's got his friction point, and he's cutting him down.
That was quick.
Minute 30, and he's going to...
Great job.
Minute 33. That's a good old time there from Bellamy.
Good run for Bellamy.
All right, well now it's time for Austin Patterson. Peanut, as we call him, and that's because...
Well, he's got a peanut allergy, Colton.
Yeah.
It just seemed to fit.
Yeah. We put a lot of thought into that name. And Peanut's going to get going now. Peanut's a good one. Tell us a little bit about Peanut, Toby.
Peanut, right out of the gate, was a really good climber. You know, he really took to it.
He's climbing really good right now.
Yeah, I mean, he's just, you know, it was natural to him. He had no fear, essentially. Once we showed him a few techniques, he was up and running.
And now he's going to have to get through through Terry. He stepped up a little bit.
He's working it.
Yeah, he's
working
got it. Yep.
There he goes.
Used his legs, used his weight. And he's got to drop the block and start working with that hand line.
Looks like he's having a little difficulty there with the gate on the hand line block.
And
there he goes.
And he drops it. Begins to step around. And
he's in a pretty good position there.
And he gets around him. He's getting under that arm.
There's that stretch.
And most of these guys really stretch out good.
Yeah, I mean, by the time they get to graduation, man, there's about nothing these guys can't do out of their hooks. They really are comfortable.
And he gets plenty of rope there.
He's got a lot.
And begins to tie his knots.
Sometimes that can almost give you more trouble. If you've got too much rope up there, you're not really seeing clearly where your half hitches are laying. And a lot of times they'll roll over and essentially you wind up tying a clove hitch, and you cannot get that thing tight.
And he gets him cut. He's on his way down. And you can see there's a good bit of space
right
in that
there,
rope.
He's got a large gap in that knot. That may come back to hurt him right there.
Yeah, and I think the judge is going to take 2 points off there, so that's going to hurt his time over. It really was a good time, minute 42, but he had the 2 points deducted, so that's going to knock him right now to the back of the leaderboard.
Tough break for Peanut there. Got to have those knots right.
All right, well, now it's Jarrett Jones, Glitter, as he called it. Well, how did he get that nickname?
I believe when he came to class, he was borrowing his sister's phone case.
Yeah.
And I think Randy jumped right on that.
Yeah. Cuts out, slips a little.
Glitter had a little slip there, but hey, he didn't lose his ground. He's kept his momentum going.
And he's moving pretty steady.
He's moving steady. I tell you, JJ was one of the hardest ones to get to know. I tell you what, this guy, couldn't hardly squeeze a word out of him, but man, he sure can climb a pole.
And I can tell you, all the students, future potential students, have said, I want to come, I'm interested. I mean, they say, yeah, I know someone who's coming to school, and they say, yeah, Jarrett Jones, I know Jarrett. It's like he never said anything. He's here. He's talking all kinds of stuff about the school when he's not here. So
he's already got his block down, got his rope over. Jarrett's got a really good time going here.
Yeah, he's just got to get that knot, get around and get the knots tied, and he's going under. Yeah, and he's in a good position there. Grabs a hold, and he's got to start tying those knots.
Those knots now.
I think he's got his first one. I'm working on his second and third.
Jarrett's another one of these that probably could have stayed a little lower and been able to reach that block. He's a little high right now for what he's doing.
He's a pretty tall guy.
He is.
And he gets his friction point.
Ready for a cut.
And he's coming down.
There we go.
And minute 35. Minute 35. Really solid time there from Jarrett Jones. All right, well, now it's Jordan Thompson, Canton, Georgia. 25 years old, and Jordan's going to get going here. His turn on the Hurtman.
Tell you what, I really hit it off with Jordan. His dad, is a lineman of Florida Power and Light. So he's come here to the school with a real good idea of kind of where he wants to go, what he's wanting his future to look like.
And, I mean, he knew what he was getting into from the word go.
Absolutely, and this guy's future is bright.
All right. Stumbled on that first step, but he's on his way now. And really not the fastest going up we've seen so far, but in these rodeos, like we've said, when you have 4 events, when you total them all up, it's not always just about the time, it's about limiting mistakes. And so far he hasn't made any. Absolutely,
that's right, Colton. I mean, part of the whole idea behind the rodeo itself is to make sure that we're using good skills, safe work practices, and that's exactly what Jordan's doing here.
All right, he gets in a good position. He's through, and now he reaches up. He's got to get his block down and begin working on Terry. He's
got his block. I like the way he just reached straight from his working position there. He's trying to do as much as he can from one position and save steps. You know, time is of the essence when you're doing a Hurtman rescue.
And he's in a really good position right
Absolutely.
there.
You saw the way he just stepped around and down, kind of all in one.
Yeah,
one
dropped
motion.
that left leg.
Yep, one motion, put himself in a good position to tie. Makes things very smooth.
Yeah, getting his friction point, and he's going to cut him down. And
he
missed
is
that
having
first
to
one.
reposition. He's having to reposition for that.
And he's got it. He's at 1:38 now. And he's going to have a good time. He's got to cut him, and he's coming down. 1:44, 1:46 on his way down. And
good controlled fall there.
He'll finish up at 1:52. Got the slack. 1:52. So a good solid time there from Jordan. And
outstanding run. That was very good.
Yeah, he should be satisfied with his performance. All right, let's move on. All right, well now it's Willard Wilcox, and the King Buzzard, as they call him. He's a real lanky guy, and he yanks that hand line up, and he's headed up.
I don't know about the King Buzzard. I always called him Wanda.
Wanda?
Yep, to me that was Wanda Wilcox. I tell you what, Wanda and I hit it off pretty quick week one. I can't remember exactly what it was. I was barking something at the guys in the pole circle, and he had absolutely no problem firing right back at me. And I enjoy the heck out of it.
Yeah.
And this kid can climb. I tell you what, if you need something done in a hurry, he's your go-to guy.
I mean, man, he gets up there so quick, and he shows that you don't have to be all muscled up or anything to do well at this work. I mean, he's a skinny guy, but he works well and he works fast.
Very mentally tough, though. I tell you what, he does not get down on himself. He continues to battle through whatever adversity he's facing. Bright future for this guy.
All right, he reaches down. He's a little high, but he's in a good position there. He's hugging him pretty good. Gets his rope.
Well, he's just so doggone flexible up there.
Yeah, I mean he's so long. I mean
he is, and he can cover a lot of ground up there.
All right, and he's got his rope up, and he's going to start working on those knots. He's at a good spot. 1:18 right now. And let's see
if to get those knots finished up though.
I mean, he can have a really good time if he just if he gets them wrapped up. And he's at 1:30, still working on the knots.
Yeah, and I'm glad he's taking the time to get the knots right. We certainly don't want anything to go wrong.
Yeah, and he gets his friction point and gets his knife out. Got to cut him on his way down.
Here comes Terry.
And pretty well controlled. Gets it down. 1:51. Gets the slack out. 1:51. So a good time there for Willard.
Attaboy, Wanda.
And that's going to wrap up the Hurtman for us today, and some solid times from the guys. So let's move on and check out the leaderboard and see how everybody did. All right, well, let's check out the leaderboard, and as you can see here at the top, in 10th place we got Austin Patterson. He had that 2-point deduction, so that kind of hurt him. I mean, he had a really good time there, and he would have been in the top 5. As you look down throughout, we got some right over 2. We got Eli Johnson at 1:59, and down to Jordan Thompson 1:52. So some good times there. We'll go to the top 5. And you can see one of our faster climbers rounded it out at number 5, 1:51 for Willard Wilcox. Tucker Sharon, 1:46. Jarrett Jones, 1:35. He was real close to Jim, 1:33. And then Matt Madrone finished it up there to top it out and win the Hurtman competition with a great time of 1:25.
Not surprising to see that, Colton. I mean, Matt, like I said earlier, he's just smooth as silk. So, it stands to reason that he would wind up in first. He absolutely just moves so fluently across the pole and with his knots and all that. But overall, I'm super proud of these guys. I mean, you're talking about these young men have only been doing this now for a short time, and they're turning out some very respectable times. To have all of them right there, in that 100-point range with the one hiccup, we had for Austin, hey, they should all be proud.
Yeah, and it was really a good day with the Hurtman today. Thanks for tuning in to this, and we hope you join us next time for our next rodeo competition video. So for Toby Mabry, this is Colton Witt signing off. Hope to see you next time.
Thanks for watching our video. Be sure to check us out in all our other videos and please subscribe below.